want to show you some charts that illustrate why we think that 2021 could be a really pivotal year for the stock market. Caveat, these are very long-term charts. They're not going to tell you whether to short Tesla tomorrow, but they will help you to appreciate some of the market symmetry that wave practitioners experience really every single day in their trading. And more important, just as I said, the relationships I'm going to show you, they all point to this year, 2021, as really a potentially monumental year in financial history. So let's just dive in with this chart, which is essentially a long-term timing study of the Dow Industrials. Okay, we're going back to the founding of the United States. But what I want you to notice, take a look at the graphic on the bottom of the chart, right? And notice the low in 1842. Okay, at the time, that was the largest bear market to date, and it divided that first 144-year period of US finance, right? That's a Fibonacci number. It divided that period into a golden section, right? You have a Fibonacci 55 years before that crash, and you have a Fibonacci 89 years after that crash. So why is that potentially important? Okay, it's important because an even larger degree golden section is present today, right? Notice now the 1932 low. That year, 1932, that marked the end of the deepest decline ever recorded in the US stock market. So that low will divide the first 233-year period of American finance, right? That's the next Fibonacci number. That low in 32 will divide 233 years into a golden section if a major market turn comes in 2021, right? Make sure you understand that. A turn this year would be 89 years from the 32 low. That low already has 144 years behind it. So in terms of market symmetry, in terms of Fibonacci relationships, in terms of golden ratios, 2021 is a critically important year. So that's the crux of this chart, but there's several more relationships that point to 2021 as an important year. Okay, notice the market turns that are in bold as prices rise along that upper right corner of the chart, right? After the 32 low, we've got the 1966 high, we've got the crash in 87, we've got the 2000 top, then we've got the bear market from 07 to 09, we've got the 2018 top, and finally we've got the low in 2020 that surrounded coronavirus. What you're looking at, right, is a progression of Fibonacci durations. They begin all the way back in 1788, and they project a major top in 2021. Okay, this list here summarizes those market turns. The left side shows whether the turn was a high or a low, and it shows the Elliott wave notation for the turn. The right side here details that nearly complete set of Fibonacci durations. It's not entirely complete. And if you want more information on this progression, read last month's Elliott wave theorist. It really walks through everything I'm talking about, but in much more detail. But again, the important thing is that we have a remarkable progression of Fibonacci durations, and all of them are pointing to a major market turn in 2021. Okay, so let's take a look at one more chart that shows 2021 to be an important year. Okay, now we're looking at the S&P, and the entire chart here is supercycle wave 5. So we've labeled the wave 4 bottom, that was June of 1932, that's on the left. And we've labeled cycle degree wave 3, okay, that was in February of 1966. So notice here that wave 3 will split the time of this entire chart. Okay, it will split the time of supercycle wave 5 into a Fibonacci proportion if a turn comes in 2021, right? The rise from 32 to 66 was 34 years. The remainder of Grand Supercycle 5 will carry 55 years if it ends in 2021. So here again, we have a different index. We've got a slightly different wave structure, and the Fibonacci ratio still points to a major turn in 2021. So for wave analysts, it doesn't get much more exciting than right now, okay? The Elliott wave theorist has shown versions of these charts for about 3 years now. And amazingly too, the sequences on that first chart, those sequences allowed the theorist all the way back in 1989 to identify this year, 2021, as a potential turning point. Okay, so here we are, the year has arrived. If you've been reading our analysis, you know how euphoric sentiment has become this year. So frankly, we're all on the edge of our seat, and we will likely stay there for much of the year. So stay tuned. 2021 could be a downright historic year.